Hey everyone, Mr. Newman here. I'm going to do a quick review on give you some examples and practice for our upcoming quiz. One thing is that I want you to try these on your own first. That's the way you should use this video because these are all practice problems that we've done before this week. And so I want you to go and pause the video right now. Another tip is that if you get stuck, pause it often and rewind it to see the order of the steps. Okay, so pause the video right now and go ahead and try as many of these problems as you can. All right, now that you've tried these, if you got stuck, I'm going to show you guys the problems on the left, and then I'll leave the ones on the right for you to try. And if you want to sign up for Flex to come talk about it, or you can text me through Remind, you can get help that way. All right, so right here on the left, you guys, we're solving for x. I'm going to put an arrow there. To get x by itself, first we need to subtract, and then we're going to divide, and you get x is -3 minus 2c all over 3. So put a box around that. I want you to try the one on your right on your own. All right, next one, we're going to solve for m, so I got an arrow there. Let's subtract first, because we have to do reverse GEMDAS, and we get z minus b equals m over a. Next, I multiply by a. Notice on the left there, I put parentheses around the side because when I'm multiplying by the whole thing. And if we have different terms that are added or subtracted, we've got to multiply by all of that. You can distribute the a, but you don't have to. So that answer right there, a times parentheses z minus b, is perfectly fine. Try the one on your right now. All right, next one, we have c we're trying to solve for here. We subtract 5a from both sides. I'm going to get 2 minus 5a on the left. And the order of these also don't matter. You could add 2b first and then subtract 5a. So on the left there, you might have a slightly different order. Just make sure the 5a should be negative and the 2b should be positive. Last, we need to divide by 3, and our final answer should look something like that. All right, try the one on your right on your own now. Okay, these are now on to inequalities. We're actually going to graph these as well as just solve them. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 15 because I need to get rid of the dividing by 15 first because that's the last operation that happens. And we divide by 15 and we get this. Next, I'm going to add 11 to both sides. And the good thing is that dividing by 15 or the multiplying by 15 was not negative. So the inequality points in the same direction. So our answer is n is less than -4. Remember, when it's just less than, you're going to draw an open circle. And if n is less than that, it's going to be to the left, all the numbers to the left. So you fill in a line to the left. Try the one on the right and do that right now because it's very similar to the one we just did. All right, lastly, I'm going to, on this one, because the v is in the parentheses, I'm going to distribute. So let's distribute the -7. Notice, be very careful when you distribute. You're not distributing 7, you're distributing -7. So -7 times -9 is positive. See the plus right there? Positive 63. Make sure you check that out. And on the right there, over here, when you try this on your own, you need to distribute the -5. When we do that, next I need to subtract 63. And my next step, I'm dividing by a negative. So I'm going to put a big star here. If we're multiplying or dividing by a negative, we need to switch the inequality. So I'm going to switch the inequality. The left is -3 and the right is v. But that, instead of greater than, we're going to put the less than symbol. So that little inequality was pointing to the right. Now it needs to be pointing to the left. All right, that means that -3 is less than or equal to v. That means v is bigger than -3 or equal to it. So I'm going to put a solid circle because the or equal to on -3, and if v is the bigger one, then it's anything bigger than -3. All right, try this one on your own now. And the last problem we're going to do, don't be scared if there's a bunch of different things. Remember, just distribute and combine like terms. Distribute and combine like terms. Here, we don't even need to distribute. We're just going to combine like terms. So be very careful. Notice I'm circling the ones on the left, but I'm putting boxes around the ones on the right, even though they all have an x on them. The reason for this is because this symbol, just like an equal sign, the inequality symbol, separates the two sides. So because that's a different side, I can't combine the ones on the left with the ones on the right. I've got to figure out a different way to get them together. So the red circles make -6x, and the blue squares make 2x. I'm then going to add 6x to both sides. So this is how I get all the x's onto one side. I have to do the same thing to both sides, and I'm really eliminating one side, and we get that. So I'm dividing by 8. That's a positive number, so I'm not going to flip it. Up here, you could have subtracted by 2x instead, and you would have gotten a 0 on the right. That is perfectly fine. It's just when you solve for the x later, make sure that if you're dividing by negative, you need to switch the direction of the inequality. So that is our answer to graph it. That is -2 is less than x. That means x is bigger than -2. So I'm going to put an open circle in -2 and graph everything to the right of that. All right, try this one on your own now. And if you need more practice, remember, look on Google Classroom or go through some of the homework videos we've done before. Thank you for watching.